Welcome to the party, pal. I'm Commander Tom, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn your initial 500 gold and those lousy parsnips into $16,000 in month one. Legitimately, no hacks, cracks, mods, or anything else necessary. Let's go ahead and hit the ground running. To give you an idea of how this works, spring of year one is so fast-paced, I think it makes sense to separate it into two sessions. Started off, day one. You're going to scythe. You're going to scythe a lot. You are looking for mixed seeds. You're going to keep every seed you get because free seeds are free, obviously. They grow into crops which you can sell for something. Free, selling for something, is profit. That's the kind of philosophy we're going to keep. As you're continuing to work the land then, you're going to want to keep all the clay that you find for building. I'll give you a couple of tips on what to build when as well. And then the fiber you get, it may only be 1 gold a piece, but those 1 pieces of gold add up. Sell it all. You don't need it right now. Before the end of day, by about 3 o'clock I would say, get to Pierre's. Buy the cauliflower. Right now, it's a good ratio of profitable yet affordable. Buy as many cauliflower as you can. Get them planted. Get it watered, both the cauliflower, the parsnips, and your mixed seeds. Get your ground growing as soon as possible. Looking ahead then to day 2, cauliflower have a 12-day growth cycle. We're going to keep busy in those 12 days. You're going to want to have a daily focus, and then you're going to want to rotate on a daily basis as well. If it's raining, fish. Fish is a great moneymaker, especially during spring year one. You're going to want to start getting some wood supply built up. Wood is something I recommend doing at the end of the day. There are 2 resources that I recommend not wasting at all during this month: daylight and energy. Most of the wood I chop is the last thing I do. I chop at night to zero out my energy before I crawl into my bed at midnight. I encourage the same. And then you will need to mine a little bit for those first pieces of copper for building. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, talking about fishing, again, especially if it's raining, because you're going to want to think ahead to the keeping fish for the bundles. The catfish are a rainfish available in the river, but you got to get into it before noon. Well, let's think about this. You wake up, you're already hearing the rain, and rain means you don't need to water. So my recommendation, go ahead and check the television for the recipes and the fortune if you want. But if you wake up and it's raining, grab your fishing pole, get to the river, start fishing. Now, spend that day fishing. But after 4 o'clock, get to the ocean, because rain days after 4 o'clock in spring is when you can get the eel. And that's another required fish for the bundle. Now, if it's not raining, but it's just your turn to switch things up, or more to the point, if it's a windy day, get to the river anyway to see if you can catch a sunfish. Again, another required fish for bundles. And if it's just the normal day, again, I recommended the rotation. If it's been 2 days and you haven't fished, I recommend you fish. But go to the mountain lake, see if you can get that bullhead, see if you can knock these out. That's the high priority fish I would encourage. There are some secondary fish I would recommend as well. You've got some extra time with that. You can get them during another season. But keeping with this philosophy of high fishing, because all the other fish we don't mention, that's gold in your wallet. The rain days at the river, if you can catch a shad, keep one of those for the bundles. And then on the rotation days where the weather is normal, or really any time, you want to keep a carp and a chub, again, for bundles. One other variable to think about of keeping fish. If you get a gold star fish, okay, keep it. Keep fishing. If you get a second gold star fish that you don't need for any of the bundles we talked about, compare the stats. You want to keep the one with the better energy and food sets, because a general rule of thumb is the better the energy and food stats, the better it'll sell for gold. And it's that gold stat that you can't necessarily tell. The gold stat is what helps to determine points for the Grange display. So keep a goldfish, keep comparing it to any other goldfish that you may catch. Sell the cheaper one or the one with the worst stats. Keep the better one for that Grange display. Think ahead. Game like a thinker. Everything else, sell. Everything else, sell. I cannot stress this enough. Sell, 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 fish, fish, fish. That's a great way to get early game gold. It's not the only option, though. Let's talk a little bit, though, about wood and construction. Remember how I said, when you get home, if you have any energy left, fell some trees. I would encourage around day 1, maybe 2, the first 50 pieces of wood, turn that into a chest. Because you are extremely limited on inventory, keep what you need. Like fishing days, just the pole. Mining days, a sword and the pickaxe. Keep it minimal to keep your inventory open as possible. First 50 pieces put into a chest, and depending on what your personal organization system is, maybe get 1, 2 more. All right. Very quickly, though, you're going to want to gather up 300 pieces to fix the bridge at the beach. You want to do this because that increases your foraging ability, and that is a lot of gold that literally washes up on shore that you can cash in on just for visiting every 2-3 days. Remember that rotation. Your third build project, I'm going to surprise you a little bit on. You want to build the silo first. Yes, the silo is the first building that you want to put on your farm. I know, the game's lying. It says you want to build the coop. Don't trust it. Let me show you how. Let's look at the numbers. Take a look here. We've got the coop versus the silo. The coop is 300 wood, not horrid, 100 stone, not horrid, but it's 4,000 gold. That's a little bit pricey. The silo, 100 stone, same, 10 clay. Not bad. You may very likely dig that out when you're digging your garden. Only 100 gold. Hey, that's affordable. Okay, so when you compare the resources needed to build these things, the silo wins to me every time. Plus, once you get the silo up, as you're scything the grass on your farm, you're building up your hay supply, so the animals that you have in the winter, you already build up the supply to feed them. You think ahead. So you do build the coop, but you build that second. You build that after you build the silo. Now, I'm not overlooking the obvious here. Yes, because you are building the silo, you will absolutely need to start getting copper. That is what brings you to the mine. That's why you mine. You need 5 copper bars, which means you need 25 pieces of copper. Now, a little thing I'll also mention is as you're around foraging, always keep your hoe, because you can dig up things from worms, and often you get a few pieces of copper. Let's talk about other things you're doing as you're walking around here. Let's move ahead to day 5. Day 5 is when you're first eligible to potentially open the community center. And I say potentially because this has a few requirements. First, you've got to go to town. That's simple enough. But as many things in this game, you've got to leave at specific day, time, and weather. You have to access town from the bus stop. You cannot meet it from Leah's. You cannot come down from the mine. You have to access town from the bus stop. You have to do this on a clear weather day. No rain, no wind, clear day. And you need to do it between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Now, depending on how much you're watering, you might want to keep an eye on this. My recommendation would be wake up. Obviously, you know what the weather is. Anytime after day 5, the first clear day, run over, open up the community center, go back, finish your watering. Okay? Think about this. Now that we're talking about the community center, Lewis will open that up once you meet those requirements. As you're going around, as you're doing these things, as you're rotating, as you're going up to the mine, as you're going out to fish, walk around in circles. If you leave your farm through the bus stop, return from Leah's area. If you're going up to the mine, return through the bus stop. The more area you cover, the more you increase your foraging. Let's keep in mind, when we're foraging, you want to keep one of everything. You want to keep one of each of the spring forageables so that as soon as the community center is open, you can unlock that spring bundle. That spring bundle, keep in mind, when we're foraging, you want to keep one of everything. You want to keep one of each of the spring forageables so that as soon as the community center is open, you can unlock that spring bundle. That spring bundle will give you 30 seeds. You plant them the same day because, again, all seeds like that are free seeds. They will give you 30 crops that you can sell for more gold. Don't pass that up. While we're talking about crops and bundles, let's also look ahead to what you need. For the spring crop bundle, we've already talked about cauliflower and we've talked about parsnips. This is part of the reason why I say go heavy on cauliflower. You need one at least for the bundle. There's a significant likelihood one of the locals will ask for a cauliflower for a gift, and they're an extremely profitable crop comparatively for this season. Keep at least one cauliflower and one normal parsnip for the spring crop bundle, and then as the parsnips come in, keep all of your gold star ones for the quality crop bundle. Think ahead to what you need for your bundles. That's part of the reason why I mentioned building the trunk, maybe even a second one, so that way you can store ahead, plan ahead, and move your game up quickly. Let's move ahead to day 13. Day 13, I have made an entire separate video on for the Egg Festival. I actually encourage you to watch it. It's pretty interesting and fun. If you want to just focus on this video for now, that's fine too. The 2 points I will give to you on it: don't worry about the race. Everyone wants to know how to win the race. Year 1, the prize is a straw hat. Okay? It's nice for the decorative people. There's no money involved. All right? So I tell you, don't worry about the race unless you really want it for that hat for decor. The real prize, the real winning thing for the Egg Festival are the strawberries. Buy them all. Buy as many strawberries as you can, because they are literally the most profitable crop of spring ever. Buy as many as you can. However, you put away half of them. You squirrel away for next spring. You plant half of those strawberries day 1, year 2. Yes, I'm telling you to leave seeds in your box for almost an entire year. And I'm telling you to keep that cycle up for the entirety of the game. Every Egg Festival, buy the strawberry seeds and throw them in a box for next year, because then you can double the harvest from those seeds, double the profit. But do take half of them and plant them in your garden this day or day 14. Okay, get them in the ground as soon as possible, because you can still get 2, maybe 3 strawberry harvests from them, and that is extremely profitable. So split the difference here to really set yourself up. Game like a thinker. Now, around day 13, day 14, your cauliflower harvest will come in. Yay! This is a good thing. Again, keep one for the bundle. You're probably going to want to buy more parsnips for that quality crop. Take a look at how many gold star parsnips came in. All right, you need 10. I recommend whatever you need, multiply by 2 or 3 to err on the side of caution, and then buy those parsnips. Little tip if you're really shooting for the quality crops bundle, and I encourage you to do so, is use fertilizer. Just the basic stuff will do fine. The stuff that you make from sap from the trees that you are felling for the chests, for the bridge, for the silo, for your other construction projects. These things all play together. Use fertilizer on the crops for the quality crop bundle. You're going to want to buy at least 1 potato to clear out the spring bundle. And then invest heavy in green beans. Green beans are extremely profitable. Green beans will regrow and give you several harvests each spring. Plant it all. get it watered, all right? And then you are really setting yourself up for the second half of this season. By the second half, I mean day 15 through 28. You're back to that cycle. You water, and then you rotate your daily focus. You fish, especially if it's raining. You chop wood if you have any energy left at night, and you mine, and you're getting the copper built up for that silo. Again, you need 25 nuggets of copper. You need 5 copper bars. This is a cycle that I encourage you to keep on for day 15 through 28. Is it a grind? I'll admit it, yeah. Does it pay off? We'll talk in a sec. So, as you're looking through the last half of this, you have a reoccurring strawberry crop coming in. You have reoccurring green bean crop coming in. You've got some parsnips coming in, and some of those are going to be standard growth. If they're normal or silver, sell them, okay? Keep the gold for the bundle. Then you're also going to be running around doing foraging. Sell it all, okay? You do this. I brought in 16,000 one year. I bet you can do it. If you want to see in more detail how I brought in that 16,000, go ahead and check my playlist for the spring year one of Stardew Valley, the happiest cabin in the woods. If you want to skip ahead to see what my recommendation is for summer, go ahead and click on that link. And I've got a special link if you've already watched those, something special just for you. I'm Commander Tom. If this helped you out, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.